Out on WRMN. It's the talk of the town, so come on and listen now. It's Deano's Night Out on WRMN 1410. Deano's Night Out on WRMN. It's the talk of the town, so come on and listen.
And hello, everybody. Welcome again to another show of Deano's Night Out. That's right, we're here every single Friday between 2 and 4 o'clock. Got a great show lined up for you today. Our show, of course, brought to you by the Arcada Theater, oshows.com. And that is our guy, Ron Onesti. Always a supporter, always a great supporter of each and everything that we do around here. But we do have a great show. I'm going to give you an idea of our lineup. Matt McNeil's going to sit in with me. We're going to be talking about the Fringe Fest. And that's a global event that is going to be happening, I think, around September, right here in Elgin again. And that's kind of neat. So Nick Mataragas is going to be here with us, and he's going to talk about everything Fringe Fest. We got a bunch of questions for him. Hopefully he's going to have some good answers, right? So then after that, what we're going to do, and that's going to be our first hour. Nick's going to be coming in for that. And then the second hour, we're going to have the Stepping Stones Foundation of Hope. We're going to have Father Dennis Kasul is going to be joining us, the president of the organization, Dixie Jarek, and then we're going to also have Pete Wickman. They're doing good things for a lot of people, a lot of good things, and you're going to love to hear all about them. But this is what we're doing. We're going to have that as our two guests for the day. Hour 1, Fringe Fest. Hour 2, Stepping Stones. So we'll get right into what's happening over at the Arcada Theater. The Arcada Theater is located beautiful downtown St. Charles, and the Arcada Theater is at 105 East Main Street, for those of you that don't know. Tonight, they got an 8 o'clock show, Foghat. Just great rock and roll, boogie and blues, with the band as high energy and intense as ever. Foghat's audience now consists of fans of all ages. In addition, they're going to have Pat Travers Band. With one of rock's most impressive catalogs, Pat has released an album almost every year from 1976 through 2019. His current album was released in 2023 entitled The Art of Time. So you'll have to check them out. They're at 8 o'clock at the Arcada. Tomorrow at the Arcada, 38 Special. Everybody's heard of 38 Special. Well, maybe if you're my age, you have. And, more than 4 decades, 38 Special continues to bring their signature blast of Southern rock to over 100 cities a year. So they're out there working it. And then they also have along with them Billy and the Vintage Saints. Billy Hall has been playing music with some of the best musicians around Chicago for a while now. And in 2021, he went into the studio to record the songs everybody has been asking him for. So get on over to the Arcada Theater. That's tomorrow. That's going to be happening Saturday at 8 p.m. We always throw a little comedy. Friends over at the Comedy Vault, there's going to be performing Dana Gould. He began his professional career at the age of 17 years old. Between Comedy Central, HBO, Showtime. Dana's had 6 solo stand-up comedy specials to his credit. He's appeared on The Late Show with David Letterman, Jimmy Kimmel Live, Conan, and Marin. So, this is a 21 and older show. You don't want to miss it. 7 and 9:30 tonight, and then again tomorrow, 7 and 9:30 as well. And that's over 18 East Wilson Street in Batavia, the Comedy Vault. Our friends around the corner at the Martini Room, they've got their Music Live. Every Friday, it's called Live Music Fridays. Catchy name, huh? Means it's on Fridays. And that's over at the Martini Room, just around the corner from us. And that's 161 East Chicago Street in Elgin. And tonight, there's Mark Betcher and Friends. And that's over at the Martini Room. Over at Newman's, our good friends, Susie C., also is the manager over at Newman's Corner Pub, and they're right there in Hampshire, Route 72 and State Street. And there, they don't really have a whole lot more going on other than that friendly home feeling, and everybody makes you just feel like family over there. They have the Saturday drawing at 3 p.m., which is the Queen of Hearts. And right now, the pot is up to $3,911. And they're going to pull that Saturday at 3 p.m. So go see Sue, tell her myself or anybody from the WRMN crew sent you, and they're going to give you the best seat in the house. They may even usher you to the bathroom. I don't know. But no, really, they'll give you a good seat. And there you have Susie C. and Marky B. They're our morning show hosts from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Mark Bialik has been off all week. He's been out in, I think, Cabo, somewhere out in Mexico. Dennis and I were going through the different certificate tickets that we still had left over from that shopping club thing they used to have around here. And we says, hey, what the heck? Let's let Marky go on a nice vacation. So we sent him away for the week. Hopefully he enjoyed himself. Hopefully he had a good time, him and Lorena. And we'll be seeing him back on Monday. So that's what's going on over there. Not much else happening. In just a few short moments, we're going to bring back, or not bring, we're going to bring to the microphones, and if you're watching YouTube Live, to our screens, Nick Montaragas, along with Matt McNeil. So stay tuned. We're going to take a short break, and then we'll have these guys back right here with us. See you in a few moments.
Get ready for Around the House every Saturday night from 5 to 7 p.m. on WRMN AM 1410. If you're a homeowner or contractor looking to tackle those projects that feel a bit too big, this is the show for you. Join Eric along with his knowledgeable guests as they dive deep into everything from DIY renovations to creating a healthy home environment. We'll provide you with the tools and tips you need to complete your projects with confidence and ease. But it's not all work and no play. We believe in having fun. Our passion for home improvement shines through as we help you save time, money, and reduce the stress of DIY. So whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, don't miss Around the House. Tune in every Saturday night and let's tackle those home projects together.
Searching for a financial partner that truly has your best interest at heart? Join KCT Credit Union, where they're more than just a bank. They're a not-for-profit financial cooperative. KCT members are owners, meaning profits go back to you in the form of lower loan rates, higher savings rates, and fewer fees. Experience personalized service that puts you first. Become a part of KCT, where your financial well-being is their top priority. Visit kctcu.org. Each account insured up to $250,000. By member's choice, this institution is not federally insured.
Chicago defense attorney Mark Schieblo has co-authored the book titled DUI Jury Trial, which is a true story of a DUI case that he defended. The accused was an Illinois truck driver arrested for driving under the influence of alcohol. This book contains facts about the case from the date of the arrest up to the jury's verdict, and this nonfiction novel also includes the transcripts from the jury trial itself. The book DUI Jury Trial is now available on Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com.
We are AFGE, the American Federation of Government Employees. We represent 700,000 federal and D.C. government workers who are the vital threads of the fabric of American life. We support our nation's military. We take care of our nation's veterans. We protect our nation's borders. We respond to our nation's crises and natural disasters. We provide services to our nation's seniors. The American Federation of Government Employees. We work for America.
We are AFGE, the American Federation of Government Employees. We represent 700,000 federal and D.C. government workers who are the vital threads of the fabric of American life. We support our nation's military. We take care of our nation's veterans. We protect our nation's borders. We respond to our nation's crises and natural disasters. We provide services to our nation's seniors. The American Federation of Government Employees. We work for America.
Hello and welcome back to WRMN 1410 AM right here. Beautiful downtown Elgin in Studio 14. Today we have a great guest I already told you about. Nick Montaragas is from the Fringe Fest, and he is going to tell us everything about the Fringe Fest that we ever wanted to know. So I'm going to put that over to Nick right now. We'll get a quick introduction. And along with me on this, because Matt has a lot of background in all the different arts things that we have going on. You've heard this show Out to Lunch before. I filled in for him yesterday. We had the great kids in from the theater, the Elgin Theater. So, who better to have as a partner on the show with me than Matt? So that's what we're going to do. So here we have, we'd like to welcome Nick. Say hi to everybody.
Hey, how's it going? I'm Nick Montaragas, Artistic Director of the Elgin Fringe Festival.
Artistic director. What do you think of that,
I
Matt?
like it.
I like that a lot. And everybody, we all know Matt McNeil. So, Nick, tell us, this Fringe Fest, I know, isn't for a while. Mm-hmm. But what really caught my eye was there's some kind of a lottery or some type of thing going on. Tell me what's happening right now with the Fringe Fest.
Right. So the Fringe Festival itself doesn't happen until the end of September this year, which is our normal time. But we have this coming month on the 23rd of April at Vern's Tavern in the Light Lounge. We have the Fringe Lottery Bingo Drag Extravaganza event,
Okay.
which is where we select the artists that will be in the festival this year.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, right?
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be fantastic. We're basically taking what were 134 performing artists submitted and 41 visual artists, and we're going to take that and narrow it down to 34 performing artists and 20 visual artists that will be in the festival.
Well, that's pretty darn cool.
It is really cool.
Isn't it?
Yeah, I think what's really great too is the fact that the Fringe Festival is. I mean, there's so much that's encompassed into the Fringe Festival, and so you're going to be able to get a little bit of a taste of what the Fringe Festival has to offer too, when it comes to performances and visual art, and of course it does elevate artists as well, which is important, especially within that arts culture too. Everyone's welcome, no matter what background you're from too, and you'll be, nothing is ever expected. You'll not, it's all going to be things that, you won't be able to know until you actually go there and see. So there's a wide range of different artistic styles and expressions. And so you get to see all of it. And I think that it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it is. I mean, that's the beauty of the festival is that's why it's uncurated, so that we don't have control over what's being performed. Mm-hmm. What's being put out there, so that you get a variety of things and you get the unexpected because you don't know. And that's kind of the beautiful thing about uncurated is that, we all have preconceived notions of what is good performing arts or visual art or whatever. And sometimes we're wrong about those things, and we won't know if we don't let those things happen that normally we would maybe say no to.
Right. It can open your eyes to different perspectives and maybe even inspire you to do it in the future too. There's a lot that's out there that's very unique and can be very special to people, and can be personal stories that people encompass into their artwork and their performances. So it's a great event to go to. I definitely recommend it.
And see what people really don't grasp and understand. Art is in so many different ways. What do you call those people that do that? They give like that stand-up poetry thing with a little story in it.
Oh, like
what's that called?
spoken word.
Spoken
Yeah.
word. Why do I always forget that?
Me too.
But that's part of the Fridge Fest too. Could it?
Yeah.
Could it not be if that's what you want to try to get through that lottery to be able to perform?
Yeah, we've had spoken word performers. In fact, Mike Chernoff is a spoken word artist who's performed the last 2 years at the Fringe Festival, and he's fantastic. But yeah, I mean, any form of performance art, music, improv, stand up, dance, circus, you name it, and we've had it, and we're open to having it again.
Leslie Godard, we've had here from. She was at the Fringe Fest last year, which is honestly how I heard about this Fringe Fest, which really caught me by surprise. I'm like, well, I'm right here at Elgin, and I didn't hear nothing about it. And here it was in September. It was like that weekend, and we had all kinds of other things planned. But rest assured, and we'll talk about it, some more, Nick, we definitely want to be involved any way we can. We'll help you promote this as much as we can as well, because, Fringe Fest is not just an Elgin-centric thing.
It's not.
This is a global program. Am I right with that?
Correct. It actually started back in Edinburgh, Scotland. A group of artists were not allowed in their traditional theater festival, and so they decided to start a festival on their own on the fringes, like the actual geographic fringes of the main festival, and that's where the name Fringe Fest came from. And there are Fringe Fests all over the world now. We're part of some global organizations. We're part of World Fringe, which is like basically all the world fringes across the world. We're also part of the Canadian Association of Fringes. But yeah, most countries have fringe festivals. There are many, many in the United States alone, including Orlando, which is the biggest one in the United States. But yeah, we're proud to be a part of a global movement.
But for Illinois, this isn't in Chicago, is it?
No, no, it's not. There used to be Chicago Fringe. It does not exist anymore. There is Rhino Fest, when they call themselves a Fringe Festival, and they are in Chicago. But for the most part, the only one that uses the title Fringe Festival in their name in Illinois currently that's active, I believe, is us. And I could be wrong on that. If I am wrong, please let me know. We want to meet and talk about it.
Well, this is what I heard from Leslie, because she gave me pretty much the outline. And I was really interested in this because some of the events are family friendly, but not all of them are. Correct?
Correct.
Some are adult only, but it's clearly notated at the different events. Is that correct?
That is 100% correct. We have artists who they self-identify what kind of rating they want to give their show. Some are family friendly. Some are definitely not. Last year we had some great storytellers and clowns and circus performers that were all family-oriented shows that were fantastic. But then when you get to the later parts of the night, we have things like burlesque and some stand-up and things like that you would definitely not bring your kids to, but you would definitely enjoy as an adult.
Well, it's still entertainment.
Yeah.
And what is entertainment for you or for Matt or the guy down the street or myself? We have our own appetite.
100%.
And the fact that the Fringe brings all these arts to one location, I think that's pretty exciting to see the different ones that are here.
It's really magical, and for it to be so many things happening in such a small period of time, all within walking distance of each other, all at affordable prices, makes it a really great opportunity to broaden your palette as an audience member, right? It gives you a chance to take a risk on something that you normally wouldn't see.
And that was the part I was going to bring up. From what I understood, ordinarily these are some high-ticket shows. you know, and they're offering them, like you say, to people. Maybe this is not what you would normally go and see, but you're giving them a little teaser on it, and then you're giving them the actual show to view at a discounted rate. You may end up liking this and respecting what they're calling art.
Oh, yeah. There are definitely forms of art that I saw for the first time at Fringe that I am now a huge fan of.
Yeah, and any other day you'd look at it like, oh, come on, just get out of here. Yeah. Well, that's what I noticed. And you have, just as a, for instance, can you give different types of shows or people that are involved, or even past shows? It doesn't have to be, what's coming up in September.
Well, yeah, it'd have to be past shows because we don't know what's coming up in September.
Because that's the lottery.
Yeah, but I think one of the shows that I always think about is there's an artist who's been a regular of ours that does like clowning and performance, and he did this show where he had like a million keys, and all of them were trying to unlock one lock, and like it was very audience interactive. And at one point, he dressed people up as Waldo, and had like a "Where's Waldo" moment. So like it defies normal expectations of what a show would be. We've had some amazing storytellers over the years. We had last year we had an artist who literally brought in like stuff from their apartment and like a drumstick and made sounds using the things that they had from their home and made music out of that. And that was really amazing. And they ended up winning our innovation award last year because of how different it was. Right. Those are the things that stand out to me a lot. But I mean, we've also, had amazing work from a lot of our local partners, a lot of our local performing arts groups around the town over the years. I know they don't exist anymore, but we used to have the local belly dance group come in every year. They'd perform. We've had the Elgin Theater Company at the Fringe many times. So it's really great to see that as well.
And we had one of the individuals on here. What do you call it? That not a mind reader.
Mentalist?
Psychic?
That's it. Mentalist.
Mentalist.
And normally that stuff, I was like, come on. I had no interest whatsoever. By the time I was done with the interview, I actually made the one show.
Yeah.
I arrived late, but nonetheless, I made that show. And I'm going to tell you, that is really some interesting stuff. Because like when you start talking mentalists and all these different, like psychic readings and people beyond the grave and all that, that freaks the heck out of me. I got to be honest with you.
Sure. That
ghost stuff, that's not my cup of tea. But the way they explained it, more like mediums, I guess, right? Would be what they would be in a sense too. Some of them,
yeah, would be mediums. It depends. Like a medium is somebody that like interacts with like spirits.
Yeah, somehow they're connected to the spirit, and the spirit finds them somehow because they have this gift, at least the way it was explained to me. And then you happen to be there, and sometimes they give you that message. Hey, I got this message from so-and-so, and this is what they're saying, okay? So it was interesting nonetheless.
Yeah.
I know they have different art. They have sculptures. Sculptures, but what's a sculpture person? Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah, sculptor.
That's it.
Yeah.
Thank you, sculptors. And
There's that visual part of it.
And I have on the screen now this one with it looks like maybe a wolf or something.
It's a fox.
Fox with the top hat. Is
Yeah.
that fox because of Fox River Valley?
Exactly.
Okay.
So that's our main logo, designed by Andrew Vo. It actually took over from the older logo, which is the black and orange one that you see there.
Yes.
A few years back, to celebrate our 10th anniversary, we came out with a new logo, and it's the fox that's basically a ringleader or a leader of the parade. And so we thought it was a great representation of both the Fringe and the Fox Valley that we are a part of.
Very slick. So each, who's heading up their Fringe Fest, they'll have their own like logo or their own mascot or whatever it is
Yeah.
that heads up the what you're going to use for the Fringe Fest, right?
Yep.
Okay, well, you don't know what that music is, but we do. What that means is we got a minute and 11 seconds to close out this little piece. We're going to go to the bottom of the hour. You'll stick around a little bit more because we got some more questions for you. So, we have in the studio a real treat, I think it is, Nick Mataragas, and he's talking about the Elgin Fringe Festival. And this is that global organization, Fringe Fest, which is artists of all types, whether you're a sculptress, whether you're an artist, whether you're a vocalist, whatever it is you have, that special little neat talent, it's going to be shown off over here at the Fringe Fest. So listen, tune in, stay tuned in to WRMN 1410 right here, the Deano's Night Out. And we're going to be back in just a little bit, talking a little bit some more with Nick. And we got Matt over here. Matt's got the better questions than me about this stuff. But we're going to find out a little bit more about the Fringe Fest.
WRMN News.
Hello, I'm Dennis Green. Batter up. A now former Uber driver who wouldn't let his dream of playing in the major leagues get thrown out is now playing for the New York Yankees. And as News Nation's Nick Smith reports, J.C. Escara is now celebrating his first big league hit.
There it is. The long wait is over. He has a major league hit. And he's going for extra extra bases. It's a double.
Escara is now on the board. A long road to the big leagues, paying off in a big way for J.C. Escara. Escara worked as an Uber driver and a substitute teacher as he pursued his dream of making it to the major leagues. Now, in his first career start, he launched that double for his first career hit. After the Yankees win, Escara said he plans on giving that ball to his dad, who is a lifelong Yankees fan.
Escara was drafted by the Orioles in 2015, but ultimately released in 2022. He says his story is perfect for a movie, and he's already chosen who he'd like to play him, Brad Pitt or Jake Gyllenhaal. Duke will face Houston in their March Madness matchup Saturday evening. News Nation's Kevin Holden has a preview where he speaks with the coach of the Blue Devils, who's appearing in his first Final Four from the bench.
Here in San Antonio, it has come full circle for Duke's head coach Jon Scheyer. He won a national championship as a player in 2010, won a title as an assistant coach in 2015, and now in just his third year as Duke's head coach, he has a chance to coach a team in the Final Four for the first time. Scheyer isn't even 40, but he has a chance to win a national championship thanks to a roster he has developed and helped to mature in his own way.
For WRMN News, I'm Dennis Green.
Produced in Studio 14 by the River Media Network.
Let me tell you a story about Bill. Bill was a normal guy in his 50s. He had back surgery about 2 years ago. Bill was in a lot of pain. He dealt with his pain by taking the Percocets his doctor prescribed for him. Bill took more and more and more of them to help with the pain, until one day the prescriptions weren't enough to get rid of Bill's pain. Then one day Bill found someone to help him get rid of the pain with illegal drugs he didn't need a prescription for. Fast forward to today. Bill lost his job and his family. The only thing he does have is his drug dealer. If you know Bill's story and you don't want to end up like Bill, call the Detox and Treatment Helpline right now to get away and get treatment.
800-694-1127. 800-694-1127. 800-694-1127. Call right now. Help is standing by. 800-694-1127.
This is Sarah Silver with your Fox Valley forecast. A flood advisory is in effect through Sunday morning for the listening area. This afternoon, scattered rain showers with cloudy skies and a high near 50, temperatures falling to around 48. Gusty winds up to 20 miles per hour. Tonight, showers and thunderstorms with a low around 42. Currently, it is 49 and overcast. I'm Sarah Silver on the Talk of the Town, WRMN.
Now at Verizon, we have some big news for your peace of mind. For all our customers, existing and new, we're locking in low prices for 3 years guaranteed on My Plan and My Home. That's future you peace of mind. And everyone can save on a brand new phone on My Plan when you trade in any phone from one of our top brands. That's new phone peace of mind. Because at Verizon, whether you're already a customer or you're just joining us, we got you. Visit Verizon today. Price guarantee applies to then current base monthly rate. Additional terms and conditions apply for all offers.
Hey, we are back. Dino's Night Out. Right here with Nick from the Fringe Fest. Nick Mataragas. And we have our own, very own, Matt McNeil. He's in the studio with me. And we're going over a lot of neat things about this Fringe Fest. Folks, I think you're going to want to check it out. Like I said, I had gotten my interest of it from Leslie. And what did you say she played the last year?
She was actually at Vern's Speakeasy last year.
Yeah, but what did she play? She was the steward?
Pan Am Betty.
Pan Am Betty. What an act. And talking with Leslie, she really gets into this character. And every character that she picks, you know, she's able to tell the story through somebody else's life, in a sense, through their eyes, basically. And she does a great job. I've caught a few of her performances now, you know, after meeting her here through the show. And that's what this Fringe Fest is. It's at a glance, people say, that's not my type of thing. But I'm going to tell you, you dive into this Fringe Fest, you're looking for some entertainment and different entertainment. You're tired of the same old thing, same old theater, same old bands you're going to go see. Fringe Fest offers you something totally different. As an example, they had 80 performances in 2024. I found some statistics here. They had 34 performing groups, 75 performers, 20 visual artists at 7 different venues. And again, just to reiterate, the fee that you would normally pay is probably twice, 3 times the amount. But because it is a part of the Fringe Fest and these artists want to be able to express themselves to their fullest, they're dropping everything down to say, hey, come see what we're like. You know, we're not that far out as you may think we are. I thought they were. And I'm going to be honest, they really aren't. They're no different than any other performer. And it's a different way of looking at things. And I think it's really, really interesting. You know, and the other questions I had asked, and I thought you addressed it, but they also have, like I said, this is a global organization, correct? Fringe?
It's a global movement, yeah.
Global movement. That's got to make sure I got the right words here. And the Canadian, there's a Canadian one as well.
Yep.
So there's the different associations that anybody could belong to. But, you know, Elgin to be selected, that's Fox River Valley. That's quite a big deal, isn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of amazing, and we've been lucky to have a voice in the global movement, even though we're not the largest festival or the festival in the largest populated area. We've attended many conferences with other festivals from all over the world, including World Fringe. In fact, last year, some of our producers got to go to Sweden and go to the World Fringe Conference there.
How neat is that?
And we're lucky enough, actually, this year in October, we're going to be hosting the United States Association of Fringe Festivals Conference right here in Elgin. So there'll be fringe producers from other festivals from all over the country coming to Elgin to check out what we do.
That's pretty neat.
That is really cool.
You know, and you say it's not that, you know, Elgin, it's not that big of a population, or at least this fringe, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're still in the 6th largest city in the state of Illinois,
right?
Which represents the Fox River Valley. I mean, you know, the surrounding suburbs that are here are equally as important as Elgin within the Fox River Valley, but they all participate. And because of the exposure that they get from Elgin Fringe, it extends out through the whole Fox River Valley. Am I right?
Oh, it extends throughout the whole valley and beyond. We have many artists that come in from the city, and this is their first time performing in the suburbs. We also have many artists that start here at the Elgin Fringe and go to other fringe festivals across the country and perform at those as well. And so the reach from this starting point is pretty great.
So it's a little benchmark for everybody.
Yeah.
If they wanted it to be.
Definitely.
And each time they would go, then, you know, we'll just say nationwide. So if they were going to Colorado, perhaps they had one.
Mm-hmm.
They would still have to go through that lottery selection process, or is that only done here?
It depends on the festival. So in Canada, all the festivals are unjuried, uncurated, so they do a lottery or first come, first serve. The U.S. is a little bit more loose, so some festivals in the U.S. are lottery. Orlando is lottery, just like us. Denver is kind of a hybrid of like first come, first serve lottery. But then other ones are curated, where they'll be like, okay, we're going to pick this show and we're going to pick this show. It just depends on the festival.
Oh, neat. So then your lottery is X amount of number, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just for some reason, some guy said, look, I really, really want you to hear us. Do you guys ever make exceptions, or the lottery is the number and that's it?
So we can't, because we're part of the Canadian Association, which is very strict about non-curation.
Okay.
That being said, we do other programming the rest of the year that we could do that. In fact, our winter mini fringe, we select 3 performers that didn't get in through the lottery to the main festival, and we have them perform one day in either late January or early February every year.
One last dumb question for me.
Sure.
So me and you are both performers. I'm old clay, and you know, you do whatever. You're an artist. You're doing paintings. For whatever reason, they selected me and not you. And I said, you know what? After looking at that, I can't make it that day. Can I give you my seat, or does it have to go back into the lottery and you have to make that selection?
So that's a great question. So because every year we have artists that get selected and they can't make it for some reason, right? It happens. We have a wait list. So what happens is that it's based on the order you signed up. So if you applied first, then you're first on the wait list if you didn't get in through the lottery. And so what happens, this artist says, I can't make it. I go in, I look at the wait list and go to the next person and go, there's an open spot. Do you still want it? And if they say yes, then that's great. If not, then we keep going down the wait list until we find somebody.
Now I got it.
Yeah.
So those of you listening, it's a lottery, a total lottery system. So you can't keep that lottery ticket and say, well, Matt, here, you take my spot. Once you can't make that event, if you're not able to fulfill the guidelines, the Canadian guidelines, I'm hearing, them Canadians, they got all the rules, but that's okay. So if you can't fulfill the rules, then it's done. You lost your ticket, but there's people that didn't make the lottery, and hopefully they could be one of the first ones, second one, and they get their name put on the list, and they would be put into the running.
Mm-hmm.
Now I understand it. That's helpful. All right, good.
Very cool.
Matt, you got a bunch of questions.
I
Go ahead.
do. So I wanted to ask a little bit about these buttons, these really cool buttons. You've got one on your shirt here, too.
Yep.
That is the form of entry. Is that correct?
Yeah. So the buttons are designed by a different artist every year. This year's artist is Anna Lentz, who made this amazing button right here. And what happens is we sell these buttons at the festival for $4. And it is the only money that the Fringe Festival itself gets from the audience. So ticket sales, 100% of our ticket price goes back to the artists.
That is amazing.
So if you're buying a $12 ticket, that $12 goes in that artist's pocket. So what we do is you have to have purchased a button to get into any and all shows, whether the show is free or if it is a ticketed show. You still have to have the Fringe button on. And that is the only money we take from the audience at all is from those buttons.
I don't think I've ever heard of a festival where, like an art festival, where 100% of the proceeds go to the artist.
And that's another one of those Canadian rules. The Canadian Association requires that their Fringe festivals are 100% tickets go to the artist, which is an amazing thing.
That is really cool. I think
Here's that button.
Yeah, that's a cool button too.
It's gorgeous, and it's very different. Each year the design is different. People collect them year to year. Like there are people that, even if they don't come to see shows, they come in and get their Fringe button every year because they want to have the different artists.
Wouldn't it be cool that sometime in the future that you get a performance that has a collection of all the buttons from the previous year and they do something with it? That would be really cool to see.
That would be amazing. I think that's a great idea, and I'm sure that if there are any Fringe artists listening, the gears are spinning in their heads about that now.
Yeah, I might have just given someone an idea.
button?
This was designed by Anna Lentz, a local artist.
Very cool.
And just said, hey, listen, that's it. And everybody is able to make a button and then you pick it, or
so we
was
actually
she contracted to do it?
Because the Fringe is produced by Side Street Studio Arts. We have a lot of artists in our repertoire. We know, and so each year we discuss who the artist might be, and then we commission them to design the button.
Nice. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
And then this piece that I have that I'm showing now, is that also drafted from one of your
So that's also
folks?
Anna's work. So when they design the button, they also design our poster, and then we take the elements from those to use into our marketing materials, like what we're looking at right here.
Excellent.
That is
I
really
like that.
cool. And now you've also got here the festival passes too. So are those currently available online right now or soon?
Not yet. They'll be
Okay.
available in probably August, is my guess. And we only sell so many, and then we stop selling them, right? And so if you're planning on coming to the festival and going to see a bunch of shows, that festival pass is a great deal. Make sure you get it before it's gone.
Absolutely. Another great collector item too.
And you know what? We're going to take just a quick break. And then when we come back, we're going to talk how people can get involved. You know, maybe they want to give a little donation to help out this, because I see a lot of people giving of their time and their efforts and their own money. Everyone's doing discount and things. People could be sponsors to this event. And I would imagine you're going to need a certain amount of volunteers to help guide people to the different locations, because last time you had seven different venues within. Now, was that within Elgin or in the Fox River Valley?
It's within downtown Elgin.
Oh, it's within downtown.
Yeah.
Okay. How neat is that?
Yeah.
So everything's in walking distance.
All walking distance.
And if you get and I might have asked a question. Sorry, been a long day. So if you buy a pass, can you buy a pass to all the shows?
So the festival pass means you have access to all the shows.
Oh, okay. That's what I missed. All right, beautiful. All right. Well, listen, we're going to be back in a little bit. Nick's got a whole bunch of information he's been helping us out with. Don't you think so, Matt?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and it's getting more exciting to me. When I missed out on it last year, I was like, I'm definitely not going to miss it this time. So we're going to be every bit of a part of it. So, hey, stay tuned. You are listening to Dino's Night Out I'm here with Mac McNeil. He's my partner for the day. And we got Nick Montaragas. He's in charge of the Fringe Festival right here in Elgin. So stay tuned. WRMN 1410. Don't turn that dial.
Do you own an annuity, either fixed rate, indexed, or variable? Are you paying high fees and getting low returns? If so, Annuity General would like you to have this free book to learn the pitfalls and mistakes of buying an annuity. The Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers contains the little-known truths about annuities, like how to help reduce your fees and increase retirement income. And it's free. That's right, free. As a bonus, we'll also throw in a free annuity rate report just for calling. We researched over 1,000 annuities and summarized rates and benefits from financially strong insurers. You get Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers and the Annuity Rate Report, both absolutely free for calling Annuity General today. Hurry, supplies are limited. Call now.
800-760-1845. 800-760-1845. 800-760-1845. That's 800-760-1845.
Finding a reputable business shouldn't require luck or chance. But how can you tell who you can trust? Pro tip: the BBB connects people with businesses they can trust. So think of the BBB as the better. Check with the BBB first, because better businesses are honest and commit to high ethical standards bureau. That's why they're better. Always look for the sign of a better business and find a better business anytime at bbb.org.
There's a price war in the insurance business, and you may be paying too much. Call the Term Lifeline right now and see if you can save 40%. $500,000 plans and up, that's our specialty. Even great smokers' rates. Protect your family today. Call the Term Lifeline right now for a free quote. 866-509-TERM. 866-509-TERM. 866-509-TERM.
Now available on Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com is the book called DUI Jury Trial, which is the true story of a truck driver in Illinois who was charged with driving under the influence of alcohol. Not only was he facing a revocation of his driver's license, but also a lifetime disqualification of his CDL, which would prevent him from ever driving a semi-truck again. This book includes backstories of the truck driver, the lawyers that defended the case, and the DUI expert witness who analyzed the case and then testified at trial as to the proper protocol procedures of the field sobriety tests as well as the breathalyzer test. This nonfiction novel also includes the actual court transcript from the jury trial, a courtroom showdown in which the final verdict would determine the fate of the defendant's livelihood. The book DUI Jury Trial is now available on Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com.
Hey, and we're back. This is Dino's Night Out, right here on WRMN 1410. And we're talking live from our studio, Studio 14, which is 14 Douglas Avenue, downtown Elgin. So, we've been talking about Fringe Fest, all things Fringe Fest. And it's really exciting. It's really interesting. Fringe Fest is coming up. You don't want to miss it. September the 19th through the 28th. And that's right, 2025. So it's a lot of cool things happening. Nick Montaragas, who has been our wonderful guest, filling us in with so many different things. And, it's about time that we tell you maybe how you could help out the Fringe Fest. And I'm going to let Nick take it away. If people wanted to sponsor things or make a monetary donation or even be a part of it, maybe they want to be a part of it, or volunteer to, just be a guide or whatever, can people have those type of opportunities?
Yeah. In fact, we have forms for both of those things at our website, elginfringefestival.com. We are always looking for sponsors. In fact, all of our venues are sponsorships. They donate their space to us. So all of those great venues are sponsors, as well as the Elgin Cultural Arts Commission, which helps fund the Fringe Festival. And You can also be a sponsor. Hey, if you own a business downtown and you want us to use you as a venue, we're in. Like, seriously, we'll put up a show in any space you want, because we want more artists to be able to perform. But also, we have tons of volunteers. We're always looking for more volunteers to help either collect tickets at the door, or we even have billeting volunteers who are people that are amazing, and they let artists that are traveling come and stay in their home while they're at the festival.
So let me ask you, you said any venue you could make work, right?
Sure.
All right, we're working on next door. We have permits, so that's still, we don't have occupancy for our next door side of the building here. But say we wanted to say, you know what, let's make it a live broadcast. We have speakers outside and what have you.
Mm-hmm.
Would this room be too small for a certain type of a performer?
No. In fact, our smallest venue right now is Vern's Speakeasy, which is their little back room. I don't know if you've been to Vern's, but
I have.
Yeah, that's that little black back room that's got like a fireplace, and it's a tiny little room. We fit 30 audience members and performers in there. In fact, Leslie Goddard performed there last year.
Nice. Now, we had Rick Lindy here with a three-piece band,
Mm-hmm.
and they were rocking this station, let me tell you, like you've never seen. Look at our YouTube channel, once we're done with the show, and you'll be able to see what it was like. So I tell you, on the air, I'll make that commitment. We'd like to be one of your venues.
Great.
We want to be involved with the Fringe Fest. So whether it's this room here, this is what we have to work with, or next door, which obviously would be much, much better, but we're still in the process of getting everything put together. That would be great.
Yeah.
So you could find a smaller act then that would be here. And what would the hours be for something like this?
So the latest a show starts is, I believe, 10 p.m., I think, is the latest the show starts, and none of them run more than an hour. So the latest the space would have to be open is to 11.
That's not a problem. So it would be one show only or multiple
It would be
shows?
multiple shows. So it like on a Friday, it goes from like 6
That's what I'm getting at.
to
Okay.
11. On a Saturday, we start a little bit earlier and go late, and then Sunday we just do, I think, a 1, a 2:30, and a 4 o'clock show, if I'm right.
I think that works with our programming.
Yeah.
I think we can make that happen.
Oh,
How
we
about
absolutely can.
it?
Absolutely.
And we would put it on YouTube. It would be broadcast live if we didn't have a Sox game. I'll have to check the dates. But yeah, that would be wonderful.
Yeah.
We'd love to have you over here.
Great.
So now, again, people want to reach you as Elgin Fringe Festival, and you spell out the word festival, and it's just real simple, .com.
Yep.
That sounds pretty good. How about you, Matt?
I think so too. What do you hope people going are interested in this event? What do you hope people can get out of it? Because there's a lot that people can get out of it. You know, there's the whole level of different art forms, and there's the undefined art forms too. So what do you hope people can get out of this experience for themselves?
I think the thing that I always look for is resonance, right? I think for a lot of people, it's finding something that feels like it makes a connection to who they are. I think those are the shows that are the ones that people talk about for years to come, are the ones where it goes, hey, I identify with what's happening here. This connected to me on a personal level. And that happens every year and in different ways. Last year, I joked around a little bit during the festival that it was the year of about people talking about trauma. You know, that was something that was kind of beautiful because people were like, I've been through that. I had an artist who her show was something that I resonated with, and I didn't expect that going into it. But I was like, yeah, I've been in a similar situation. I understand where you're coming from, and it's cathartic to have those moments where you go, I'm like this person.
Yeah. It makes you feel good. It makes you feel like I'm not the only one.
Right.
But sometimes you can feel that way. You feel like, you have a certain aspect to you or how you identify or whatever it might be. And sometimes you might feel alone. And this is an opportunity for people to express themselves. And when you come in open-minded, and you might be able to find things, like you said, where it's like, hey, I relate to that, and we can connect in that way. And that's what it's all about with the community too, is being open-minded. And I think that's great that you put this on. I mean, this is really cool. I'm looking forward to going to it in September.
I'm looking forward to it, and I'm the one that has to put all these artists together into a schedule. And even afterwards, I'm still not exhausted by it. I'm still excited to go see the shows.
Do you perform at all, Nick?
I do. I submit most years through the lottery, and if If I get in, I perform. I performed last year. It's exhausting to work the festival and perform
I
it.
bet it is.
It's not a good idea. I wouldn't recommend it to anyone, and yet I still do it.
Yeah. Well, you know what? This is something unique. So you have to be a little bit of a unique person to get involved in this and to be able to show your craft and show your art. I think that, what can I ask what it is that your performance would be?
Mostly sketch comedy.
Oh, neat.
Yeah.
Cool.
I kind of like that.
Awesome.
Yeah. So not anybody could do that, but I mean, you should be able to fit that in.
Oh,
Hang around here for a day. You'll have enough material, believe me.
oh, I'm sure.
But, yeah, no, that's wonderful. So you
Yeah.
can do a little comedy act and run the show. So have you been fortunate enough to be able to get a lottery seat?
Yeah. Last year we came in actually off the wait list, but we had a show called Fever Dream that was a lot of work and very exhausting. And yeah, it was a fun time and a weird show, and it was a lot to do on a Saturday when we had when I was running around the festival all day, and then had to change into my show outfit and go on and perform, and then afterwards go back to being the facilitator of the festival.
Right. But you had a sense of accomplishment, right?
Oh yeah, I mean
you were able to you got it done.
Right, and I think that's the thing. Like, there's the feeling afterwards of like, I did this thing is still amazing, even to the detriment of my own sleep cycle.
Well, that's okay. Within the time frames,
Right.
you were still able to get it done.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of anybody like because of the Fringe Fest, somebody saw them and like boom, all of a sudden it's instant stardom or at least a step toward it?
Yeah, not necessarily here at Elgin yet, but there are some real big French success stories. The show Fleabag was created by Phoebe Waller-Bridge, who got her big break at the Edinburgh Fringe. Also, if you are into British comedy, the show Taskmaster was originally a Fringe show. And so that is a big thing. A lot of actors get their starts at Fringes. A lot of producers get their starts at Fringes. Even if you don't know what they did at a Fringe, if they've gotten big, they started somewhere small, somewhere grassroots, either at a Fringe or something like a Fringe.
That's pretty slick.
Yeah.
You guys are making stars. You don't even know it, right?
We're trying.
Well, listen, that's that sound that we're going to have to end this conversation for today. You going to come back again for us, Nick? What do you think?
Definitely.
We'd love to have you. How about it, Matt?
I love it.
Yeah, you were a great
excited.
guest. Great guest. Very informative. Folks, we're talking about the Fringe Festival. FringeFestival.com. ElginFringeFestival.com if you want to be a part of it. So the lottery is when?
April 23rd.
April 23rd is the lottery. Don't miss the lottery. But if you can't, attend September 19th through the 28th. You listen to WRMN 1410, and that concludes this portion, hour number 1 of Deano's Night Out. We'll see you in just a little bit after these messages.
Is diabetes keeping you from enjoying life's special moments? At US Med, we understand the challenges you face, and we're here to help.
With US Med, I can finally manage my diabetes without it managing me.
US Med offers a wide range of services to simplify your diabetes care. Personalized care plans, convenient access to cutting-edge diabetes tech, and knowledgeable support. Plus, we'll check your insurance so your diabetes care may be covered at little or no cost to you.
With US Med, I feel confident and control of my diabetes. I can finally live my life to the fullest.
Don't let diabetes hold you back. Choose US Med and experience better birthdays, better adventures, better anniversaries, and better everything. Call now. US Med. Better service, better care. 800-785-1673. 800-785-1673. 800-785-1673. That's 800-785-1673.
Your hometown radio station since 1949. We are WRMN AM 1410, Elgin time, 3 o'clock.
WRMN News. Hello, I'm Dennis Green. Batter up. A now former Uber driver who wouldn't let his dream of playing in the major leagues get thrown out is now playing for the New York Yankees. And as News Nation's Nick Smith reports, J.C. Escara is now celebrating his first big league hit.
There it is. The long wait is over. He has a major league hit. And he's going for extra bases. It's a double.
Escara is now on the board. A long road to the big leagues, paying off in a big way for J.C. Escara. Escara worked as an Uber driver and a substitute teacher as he pursued his dream of making it to the major leagues. Now, in his first career start, he launched that double for his first career hit. After the Yankees win, Escara said he plans on giving that ball to his dad, who is a lifelong Yankees fan.
Escara was drafted by the Orioles in 2015, but ultimately released in 2022. He says his story is perfect for a movie, and he's already chosen who he'd like to play him, Brad Pitt or Jake Gyllenhaal. Duke will face Houston in their March Madness matchup Saturday evening. News Nation's Kevin Holden has a preview where he speaks with the coach of the Blue Devils, who's appearing in his first Final Four from the bench.
Here in San Antonio, it has come full circle for Duke's head coach Jon Scheyer. He won a national championship as a player in 2010, won a title as an assistant coach in 2015, and now in just his third year as Duke's head coach, he has a chance to coach a team in the Final Four for the first time. Scheyer isn't even 40, but he has a chance to win a national championship thanks to a roster he has developed and helped to mature in his own way.
For WRMN News, I'm Dennis Green.
Produced in Studio 14 by the River Media Network.
With your 1410 WRMN News Flash, I'm Sean Curdan. Brought to you by Sky Rizzy. The EPA has begun a $500,000 operation to remove radium-contaminated soil from the former site of Silbert Watch Company in Elgin. The watch company, known for using radium-based paint, operated from 1954 to 1971, leaving hazardous residues. The cleanup is expected to be concluded by early summer. Elgin Township will host its annual town meeting on Tuesday, April 8th at 7 p.m., located at the Elgin Township Building, 729 South McLean Boulevard. The agenda includes the supervisor's annual report, the treasurer's annual report, and reports from elected officials, as well as discussions on surplus property. The Naperville Police Department joining forces with the Illinois Department of Transportation and over 200 local law enforcement agencies to combat distracted driving throughout April. The initiative, aligned with Distracted Drivers Awareness Month, emphasizes the danger of using phones while driving, which is both hazardous and illegal unless in hands-free mode. With your 1410 WRMN News Flash, I'm Sean Curdan.
I went hands-free.
I went hands-free.
I went hands-free.
I went hands-free with Skechers Slip-ins.
Join the millions of people who are celebrating going hands-free with Skechers Slip-ins. Footwear you just step into and they're on.
It's crazy how something as simple as a pair of shoes have made my life better.
After trying Skechers Slip-ins, I want all my shoes to have this technology.
See what everybody can't stop talking about. Go hands-free with Skechers Slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Military veterans and active duty service members, you could become a certified cyber warrior with just 12 weeks of training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, and IT pros with these skills often enjoy abundant opportunity and a great lifestyle. Protect our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. GI Bill, SkillBridge, and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP.
This is Sarah Silver with your Fox Valley forecast. A flood advisory is in effect through Sunday morning for the listening area. This afternoon, scattered rain showers with cloudy skies and a high near 50, temperatures falling to around 48. Gusty winds up to 20 miles per hour. Tonight, showers and thunderstorms with a low around 42. Currently, it is 49 and overcast. I'm Sarah Silver on the Talk of the Town, WRMN.
Now at Verizon, we have some big news for your peace of mind. For all our customers, existing and new, we're locking in low prices for 3 years guaranteed on My Plan and My Home. That's future you peace of mind. And everyone can save on a brand new phone on My Plan when you trade in any phone from one of our top brands. That's new phone peace of mind. Because at Verizon, whether you're already a customer or you're just joining us, we got you. Visit Verizon today. Price guarantee applies to then current base monthly rate. Additional terms and conditions apply for all offers.
Protecting your fields from tough weeds is dirty work. But what if your herbicides had extra muscle to do the heavy lifting with pre-emergence adjuvants from CHS? Tapran helps activate herbicides so they work better against stubborn weeds, while Soil Trait extends residual control to keep fields cleaner longer. Less time fighting weeds means more time focusing on a healthy crop. Spend less time on the dirty work this season. Ask your local retailer about Tapran and Soil Trait from CHS or visit chsagronomy.com.
Peace of mind isn't always easy to come by out on your operation. With so many unknowns, especially when it comes to nitrogen loss, you know the importance of every decision. But N-Edge Pro offers one less worry, keeping nitrogen well guarded with results you can see. Using 2 modes of action packed into one mighty stabilizer, your crops are protected on every level. Protect your nitrogen above and below ground with N-Edge Pro from CHS. Learn more at chsagronomy.com/N-Edge Pro.
Deano's Night Out on WRMN. It's the talk of the town, so come on and listen now. It's Deano's Night Out on WRMN 1410.
And good afternoon. It's Dino from Dino's Night Out. Hour number 2. Every single Friday, we are here from 2 to 4 o'clock. I'm going to introduce our second guest in just a little bit. And they're from the Stepping Stones Foundation of Hope. Going to want to meet them. Great friends. Actually, I'm on the board with them, but it's not the reason they're here. They're here to tell the story, tell a little bit more about themselves, let them know what's going on. Let you folks know, rather, what's going on. But we start our show like we do. This show is brought to you by Ron Onesti, our good friend, at the Arcata Theater, which is oshows.com. Everyone knows where it's located. It's 105 East Main Street in St. Charles. So here's what's playing over at the Arcata. At the Arcata, they got Foghat. For you old people like me, you'll remember Foghat. Right at the St. Charles Theater. It's just great rock and roll, boogie and blues. With the band as high energy and intense as ever. Foghat's audience now consists of fans from all ages. Along with them, they're going to have Pat Travers Band. With one of rock's most impressive catalogs, Pat has released an album almost every year from 1976 through 2019. His current album was released in 2023 entitled The Art of Time Travel. That's on Friday. Now, tomorrow, Saturday at the Arcata, same time, 8 o'clock, 38 Special. After more than 4 decades, 38 Special continues to bring their signature blast of Southern rock to over 100 cities a year. So they're still working it, everybody. Along with them, they're going to have Billy and the Vintage Saints. Billy Hall has been playing music with some of the best musicians around Chicago for a while now. And in 2021, he went into the studio to record the songs everybody has been asking him for. That's the 8 o'clock show, Saturday at the Arcata Theater. We throw a little comedy in here all the time. Our friends over at the Comedy Vault, you got Dana Gould over there. Comedy Vault is located in Batavia. That's at 18 West Wilson Street in Batavia. And they've got the Friday and Saturday show, and that's 7 o'clock and a 9:30. Dana began his professional, comedic career at the age of only 17 years old. Between Comedy Central, HBO, Showtime, Dana's 6 solo stand-up comedy specials to his credit. He's also appeared on The Late Show with David Letterman, Jimmy Kimmel Live, Conan, and Maron. So this is a 21 and older show, so the kids got to stay home on this one. But it's a good entertainment. I've seen him before perform. You'll like the act. I've seen him on a lot of different comedy shows. Right around the corner, our friends over at the Martini Room, they've got a thing called Live Music Fridays. And why not? They do it on Fridays. It's at 8 o'clock, and that's right around the corner, 161 East Chicago Street, right here downtown Elgin. And it's Mark Betcher and Friends. 8 o'clock show, Martini Room. And then our good friends over at Newman's Corner Pub, which everybody knows now, Susie C. is our morning co-host with Marky B. Marky B has been off for the week, and we've had several co-hosts. In fact, how about it today? We had Tom friggin' Skilling on our show. How you like that? WRMN had Tom Skilling zoom in, and we talked about weather. We talked about things more than weather. But it was a great show. You could catch it on our YouTube drop that we have. But yeah, we were all very excited to have Tom on the show. So this Saturday at the Newman's Corner Pub, then they're located at Route 72 and State Street. They're going to have 3 p.m. on Saturday, the drawing. It's a little over $3,000. I marked it down somewhere before, $3,911. That's for the Queen of Hearts drawing. You ain't going to want to miss that. So there's our morning show host, Marky B and Susie C. from 6 to 9. Monday, Marky will be back in the seat, and both of them will run their own show. So that's what we had for this morning, and basically that's what's been going on. So this is our second hour. We're going to be having the folks from the Stepping Stones, and I think you're going to like it. But we're going to take a quick short break, get them all set up with the microphone, and then we'll be right back right after this. So everybody, hang tight. Don't change the dial. WRMN 1410, Deano from Deano's Night Out.
A loved one owns a gun, and for a while now, you've been concerned about their behavior. They're just not acting like themselves. They've been distant, they've been unpredictable, they've been lashing out. They've been saying things that make you worried they might harm themselves or friends or family. Or you're worried this loved one might hurt you. Maybe they recently threatened someone with their gun. You know something needs to be done, and you wish more than anything you could hit pause on this situation. Well, here in Illinois, you can, with a firearm restraining order. In extreme cases, this order temporarily prevents a person in crisis from having a firearm, giving them time to heal before they do something dangerous or even deadly. If you are worried about a loved one in crisis who has access to a firearm, learn more about firearm restraining orders at illinois.gov/pause to heal. A public service announcement brought to you by the Illinois Department of Public Health, Brady, and the Ad Council.
It's time to grow stronger than ever. Abivium from CHS gives your seed the support it needs from day one. Its biostimulant, metabolites, and micronutrients help seeds emerge with rigor, improve nutrient uptake, and grow into strong crops. Apply Abivium directly in your planter box and watch your field thrive. Ask your local retailer about Abivium today or visit chsagronomy.com.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers. So we build specially adapted homes at Homes for Our Troops. And thanks to our donors and supporters, this life-changing gift of freedom is provided mortgage-free to these veterans. But we need you to join us too in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
This is the Chef of Love, Chef Jannard, TV host and restaurateur. My grandparents harvested their land to sell food and share this overflowing bounty with our community. Grandma said, for every yam we pick, we give one away. In the world they cultivated, I love preparing and eating dinner with my family on Sundays. When our resources changed, food assistance programs sustained us. They gave me fuel to start my first culinary business at 16 years old, and inspiration to donate the extra food in my community. Through my life, I've developed an appetite to work with others to ensure everyone has access to the nutritious food we need to thrive. Together, we can help end hunger. Come on, join the movement with Feeding America by volunteering, donating, and advocating. Learn more at feedingamerica.org/act now.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Hey, we are back. Dino's Night Out. Right here, 1410 WRMN on the AM dial. Those of you watching on YouTube, thank you for tuning in. Please subscribe to us. Doesn't cost you a single dime. And all it does is kind of builds up the station a little bit. And we would certainly appreciate it. So if you are listening and you want to go to the YouTube, you go youtube.com/@WRMN Radio. You're going to probably want to call in, ask some questions for our next guest coming in here. And that's 847-931-1410. 847-931-1410. You could always text us on our text line, which is 505-926-1410. You getting the drift of this 1410 stuff? Yeah, we're trying to keep it all the same. So our next guests that are in the studio here right now, we're not going to mess around too much more over here. We're going to put them right on the screen. And I just got to get this thing to click over the right way. Here we are, camera 2. All right. We would like to welcome to WRMN right here now. This is Father Dennis Kasul, and we have to his right, Peter Wickman. So welcome, gentlemen. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, beautiful. So, Stepping Stones Foundation of Hope. This is a foundation, Father. How long has this been around, and who founded this organization?
So the Stepping Stones Foundation of Hope has been around for 15 years. On June 3rd, it will be 15 years since the founding. So beginning, it was myself and 3 other women, Pat Mackenzie, who has since passed away, Deb Bond, as well as Denise Shiquen. So we co-founded this organization with the purpose of creating a space in which Ugandans and Americans can collaborate to uplift standards of life for people in Uganda, especially those in underserved communities, specifically through providing education for children that are needy, orphans, providing basic health care for communities, and providing faith as a basis for renewing hope among the communities that are served by the foundation.
And I'm reading, we have shown on the screen here, we have the mission statement, which is to foster hope of the underserved communities in and around Bunamweri. Did I say it right this time?
Yep.
All right, Uganda, through education, health, and faith, empowering them to help themselves. So that's a strong statement. I mean, it really is. The next thing we're showing now is really what Stepping Stones Foundation of Hope is committed to the people of Bunamweri, to the village through education, facilitation, access to water, general health, services, and faith promotion. As you journey through our site, may you be inspired and motivated to make our mission possible. Help us bring hope to the people of rural Uganda. And if you go to that website, it's real simple. It's ssfoh.com. Can't miss it. And that just says Stepping Stones Foundation of Hope. And they do. They put a lot of work into this, a lot of dedication. Dixie Jarek right now is the president, and that's the lady on the left as you're looking at the screen with the mirrored glasses on. So there's St. Raphael, from what I know about it. That's the whole thing, what everything is circled around. Is that correct, Father?
That is correct. Under St. Raphael, we have a junior school, which is a combination of pre-K and elementary school. We also have a medical clinic with all kinds of services for our communities. We also have a church, Catholic sub-parish, We also have a farm that helps to foster farming skills among our people.
So, for people don't really understand it. Number one, for those of you see me in this big bright red jacket, it's got nothing to do with the election. I'm not doing this big GOP thing. The colors of Uganda, the Ugandan flag, is yellow, which is my tie represented here, as well as the red jacket, and I got the black trousers. That's the colors of the flag. And I've been proud to be a part of this organization, to be honest with you, for several years now. And the work that they do is just amazing. I was showing you pictures, and I just transitioned back now to the pictures. And here's Pete out there. And Pete, how long ago was it when you were out in Uganda?
That was 2019.
Now, can you imagine
The
that?
year before the pandemic.
Yeah.
We haven't been back since.
Yeah, and I was supposed to be on that trip, but then I had my shoulder surgery. Ken Amon, one of the other gentlemen, he's not big on flying. So he says, Dean, take my seat. So I was all set for it. I had the vaccinations because there's quite a process to go into a foreign country. And you have to have all these vaccines because they don't have the stuff we have out here. And, I was all set for it. I said, man, this is going to be really neat. And there's Pete right there. And he did his part, man. I mean, you were doing what? You were like making gardens? You were making that water?
When we made a trip together with the Rotary Club of Lake in the Hills.
Great.
And the Rotary Club constructed a series of fish tanks that permitted the organization to raise tilapia. Tilapia are rapidly maturing fish that because of their rapid maturation are good fish for fish farming. And we went over there with the Rotary Club and put in a series of tanks. And again, when you read the mission statement, the key line on the mission statement was to help the people empower themselves.
So this is not a handout.
This is not a handout.
This is a hand up. This is like, look, we're limited on what we're going to be able to give you. Make the best of it.
Exactly. That's what it is. And so we went over there with the Rotary Club, and we did some other activities. It was really eye-opening. And it was my first trip to sub-Sahara Africa, right? That is sub-Sahara Africa.
That is correct.
I've been to North Africa, and it's completely different. And
the difference being what, just for those? Because I don't know the difference.
Everything's different. The religion, the desert. I mean, it's a completely different environment. And you get to sub-Sahara Africa. As I say, it was my first trip, and it was so interesting. And what I found most interesting was getting out into the village, Bunamweri. Bunamweri's by car about 45 minutes outside of Kampala. It's not very far, but the traffic is really terrible. And you get out to the village, Bunamweri, you cannot imagine what it's like living in the rural areas of Uganda. I mean, it is so poor that you would just want to open up your arms and reach out to the people and try and help.
So then maybe make me understand this a little better, because I've never asked you this. When you fly into like the big city, right?
Kampala.
Kampala. So that's like a city like...
It's like Chicago, only it's
high rises, sewers,
traffic,
water, everything.
Traffic everywhere. People driving the wrong way down the street. I mean, they don't have traffic laws.
Yeah, I get along pretty good there. Yeah,
you'd love it, Deano.
So then
somebody told me once it's like a zoo,
Is it? So about how many miles then to the rural part of Bunamweri?
City center to Bunamweri.
It's about an hour. But
mileage-wise, how far?
It's about 35 miles.
So it's only 35 miles away, and it's like another country
world.
again. So
it's like a different
world. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like a different world.
Okay, and
all of the jobs are in Kampala. I mean, there's very little work in the villages, and the life in the villages is completely different than life in the city. I mean, it's a completely different experience.
Well, I imagine it would be. I mean, they don't have they can't walk wherever they're walking, flip a light switch up, because in most cases they don't have lights.
When we were at the school for our visit in 2019, we saw people from around the school going into the jungle to get their dinner. I mean, they would pick jackfruit off the trees. There's avocados, there's bananas, and a lot of the people subsist off the jungle. It's that poor.
That's amazing. So this water type thing that the Rotary Club.
The Rotary Club put it in the fish tanks.
The fish tanks, okay.
Stepping Stones Foundation put in 9 wells.
We did 9 wells, yes, between.
Dug 9 wells.
Because our early experience in the village there was water. The first thing the people do in the morning is they got to walk to the well. There's no running water. There's no bathrooms.
No, none.
The kids go to the wells, pump the water, bring the water home. And the wells are, before we arrived, few and far between. We added 9 wells to the village. This is not just the campus, but the village. And we've added some sophisticated water retention in our school campus, because we go through the wet period and the dry period, and when the dry period lasts longer than it should, we have to truck water in. Last year, before we invested the money in our new water retention problem, how many times do we truck water in? Daily?
Whenever it rains.
You know, we had to bring it in all the time. So that solved a lot of problems. But what's interesting is and I say interesting, it's heartbreaking really to see how much the people don't have.
Yeah, when you get home, you really everything you're taking for granted. It's like, wow. And then there's nothing. And I know one of the biggest challenges were to keep the medical supplies refrigerated. And you folks were using, I guess, dried ice from, I guess, Kampala. You were getting the ice and what have you.
Yes.
So you would have to make trips in and out daily, on the warm days. What's the temperature out there?
Hot.
During the summer, ordinarily.
Hot.
Ordinary, between 65 and 100,
Oh, 100's a normal day?
100.
Wow. That's hot.
But talking about the medical supplies, we began with using those ice packets.
Right.
And then we went to a solar refrigerator. Then eventually we were able to bring electricity into.
I remember when that happened.
Into the villages, and that has sort of solved our needs.
So St. Raphael, it has the medical center and the school, correct? Everything is in there?
Yes.
Okay. And it's in 15 years. That's a long time.
And that's just the tip of the iceberg. We've been able to.
How many students go to St. Raphael right now?
Right now, about 300.
300. And the families live relatively close.
We have boarding students.
Oh, you do? That stay on the facility.
How many?
About a third.
Close to 100.
Close to 100.
Yes. Okay. Well, that's pretty good.
Yes.
And
boarding students are a better option for us because they pay full tuition and they board.
Yeah. Well,
and we can count on them. You can't count on everyone paying their tuition. I mean, I know that probably sounds hard to believe, but we really have to chase people down to pay their fees, and that's why one of the reasons why we raise a lot of money to support the school, because it's it needs that kind of help.
Yeah,
we have to subsidize the operations on a monthly basis.
Well, what we're going to do is we're getting close to the bottom of the hour, and I don't want to get into like the different students and what it would take. And there's that little jingle right now that tells you that we're at the bottom of the hour. And you are listening to Deano's Night Out right here at 1410 a.m. WRMN. Having the pleasure to sit here and speak with Father Dennis Kasul and another dear friend of mine, Peter Wickman. And we're going to talk some more about the Stepping Stones Foundation of Hope. A great cause, folks. Give us a phone call, 847-931-1410. When we come back, we'll tell you all about it. If you have any questions, anything that you'd like to throw in, maybe you'd like to even sponsor one of these children. Okay, we'll be back in just a little bit. This is Deano's Night Out, 1410 WRMN.
Deano's Night Out on WRMN. It's the talk of the town. So come on and listen now.
With your 1410 WRMN News Flash, I'm Sean Credan. Brought to you by Sky Rizzy. Elgin Township will host its annual town meeting on Tuesday, April 8th at 7 p.m. located at the Elgin Township Building, 729 South McLean Boulevard. The agenda includes the supervisor's annual report, the treasurer's annual report, and reports from elected officials, as well as discussions on surplus property. The Naperville Police Department joining forces with the Illinois Department of Transportation and over 200 local law enforcement agencies to combat distracted driving throughout April. The initiative, aligned with Distracted Drivers Awareness Month, emphasizes the dangers of using phones while driving, which is both hazardous and illegal unless in hands-free mode. The EPA has begun a $500,000 operation to remove radium-contaminated soil from the former site of Silbert Watch Company in Elgin. The watch company, known for using radium-based paint, operated from 1954 to 1971, leaving hazardous residues. The cleanup is expected to be concluded by early summer. With your 1410 WRMN News Flash, I'm Sean Credan.
I went hands-free.
I went hands-free.
I went hands-free.
I went hands-free with Skechers Slip-ins.
Join the millions of people who are celebrating going hands-free with Skechers Slip-ins. Footwear you just step into and they're on.
It's crazy how something as simple as a pair of shoes have made my life better.
After trying Skechers Slip-ins, I want all my shoes to have this technology.
See what everybody can't stop talking about. Go hands-free with Skechers Slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Military veterans and active duty service members, you could become a certified cyber warrior with just 12 weeks of training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, and IT pros with these skills often enjoy abundant opportunity and a great lifestyle. Protect our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. GI Bill, SkillBridge, and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP.
Let me tell you a story about Bill. Bill was a normal guy in his 50s. He had back surgery about 2 years ago. Bill was in a lot of pain. He dealt with his pain by taking the Percocets his doctor prescribed for him. Bill took more and more and more of them to help with the pain, until one day the prescriptions weren't enough to get rid of Bill's pain. Then one day Bill found someone to help him get rid of the pain with illegal drugs he didn't need a prescription for. Fast forward to today. Bill lost his job and his family. The only thing he does have is his drug dealer. If you know Bill's story and you don't want to end up like Bill, call the Detox and Treatment Helpline right now to get away and get treatment.
800-694-1127. 800-694-1127. 800-694-1127. Call right now. Help is standing by. 800-694-1127.
This is Sarah Silver with your Fox Valley forecast. A flood advisory is in effect until Sunday morning for the listening area. This afternoon, scattered rain, showers with cloudy skies and a high near 50. Tonight, showers and thunderstorms with a low around 42. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy. Currently, it is 50 degrees and overcast. I'm Sarah Silver on the Talk of the Town, WRMN.
I went hands-free.
I went hands-free.
I went hands-free.
I went hands-free with Skechers Slip-ins.
Join the millions of people who are celebrating going hands-free with Skechers Slip-ins. Footwear you just step into and they're on.
It's crazy how something as simple as a pair of shoes have made my life better.
After trying Skechers Slip-ins, I want all my shoes to have this technology.
See what everybody can't stop talking about. Go hands-free with Skechers Slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Hey, we're back. Dino's Night Out, right here, WRMN 1410 in Studio 14. So we have some great guests here this afternoon. We have Father Dennis Kasul and Pete Wickman, and they're both from the Stepping Stones Foundation of Hope. And we have asked people, hey, call in. Maybe you want to help out one of these children. Maybe you just want more questions answered before you even want to make that commitment. These two gentlemen will be here to answer that question. And that number to call is 847-931-1410. 847-931-1410. 1410. So we're not going to wait much longer. We're going to get our gentleman right back on here. And we're going to take this first call. Sound good with you two?
Yes, it does.
Yes.
All right, here we go. Go ahead, caller. You are on the air.
Hello, is that Pete Wickman I'm seeing there?
Oh, yeah, it is.
Hi, Pete. It's Jeannie. How are you?
Oh, Jeannie. How you doing, kiddo?
I'm good. What an interesting show. And hi, Father. How are you all?
Oh, I'm doing well. Hi, Jenny.
Wonderful. I'm just blown away how I could listen to this all day.
Yeah, we have a great organization. We have some great people, and we're doing some good work.
Really, really amazing. Very, very good. Just wanted to tell you that.
Thanks, Jeannie.
Are you watching on the YouTube as well?
I was. I just turned it off because I'm down the street about to get my hair did.
Oh, there you go. Get yourself did up. But
Yeah, I can watch it on YouTube in the place.
There you go. But we right now just showing a picture of Pete when he was out there in Uganda in 2019.
Is that with the pink behind him? No.
Excuse me?
Never mind. I saw one picture already that was good.
He was holding one of the children, the picture with Pete.
Oh, okay, no.
And Dennis, if I showed Father Dennis all the pictures of him with the children, we'd be here all afternoon. I mean, they just gravitate to him like you would not believe. And
different world, you know.
Isn't it something? Yeah. All right, Jeannie, we're going to let you go. Thank you for calling.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye now. All right, that was Jeannie. Everybody knows Jeannie now, Jeannie Delaney. So, there's a lot of stuff that we had started talking about and a lot of good things that the foundation does. I know everything that they do, but everybody wants to hear from, either you, Father, or you, Pete. At the law firm, we support one of the children. And could you tell everybody for how little a month someone could support a child to go to school right over there in, Budumweri, and, they get their tuition, for the whole year. Obviously, it would be in monthly installments. But what would something like that cost somebody if they wanted to participate?
$500 for a whole year. And so it comes about to $45, maybe $48 every month.
Yeah, that's not a lot of money to ask for.
True.
And that would take care of what, all supplies? Do they get fed lunch? Do they
take care of their tuition, take care of their transportation to school, would take care of their feeding when they're at school. And of course, we make sure that we pay their teachers and so on and so forth. So
for $45 a month.
$45 a month.
I mean,
you take care of the whole child.
Yeah, well, I understand cost of living is a whole lot different out there than it is out here. And folks, we all know how fortunate and how lucky we are to have what we have. Every morning I wake up and you hear me always put on, when I welcome the morning show, I always tell everybody, God morning, because you know what? Without him, nothing happens. And he has gotten me very, very far in my life. Things that shouldn't happen and blessings that I should never be receiving, I think happen because of different involvement that we do helping others. It doesn't have to be a religious thing that you want to do, but you know what? Helping other people feels good. And I think we're rewarded in our life for doing good deeds and acts. It may not come as quick as we want it sometimes, because there's many a times like, really? I got to get through this? But I do. And I get through it. And that's because of faith. And that's what their mission statement does. Uganda gives education. It gives health with the St. Raphael Health Center, education, health, and faith. It empowers them to help themselves. You're not just given, the $45, $48 a month as a handout and say, okay, fine, they're going to go, whether they learn or don't learn, it doesn't matter. I know you have some dedicated educators out there. Is that true?
We do. We do have, but I wanted to go back to your emphasis on not just giving them a handout. So for over the last 15 years, through our education program, we've been able to educate some of our students all the way to graduation. And some of them have been very successful in their lives. So last time I was in Uganda in January, one of them came to see me and actually came with a car for me to bless. she's just bought a new car. She said,
Oh, no kidding.
Look what I was able to do, and thank you for educating me. Thank you for helping me to get on my feet. And then now I'm able to have a good life. And also she did something more. She bought beds for our health clinic, for the medical clinic. So when patients come, now they can actually have a bed where to rest and recuperate and recover. So you can see how this
it's the cycle.
The cycle of generosity.
Yeah.
It just keeps growing.
And you get a little bit and you get a whole lot back more in return.
Indeed.
And I'm sure she stayed in contact with you since.
Of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
She always does.
Yeah. No, I mean.
But that's just only one example. We have numerous examples of that kind. Young people getting on their feet, opening their own businesses, being successful, coming back to be grateful, and then donating, to help the school or to help the medical clinic, or to.
We have one lady that we're currently.
Just a little closer.
That we're currently sending through medical school.
Oh, really?
We have another lady that's in nursing school. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it's not just primary 1 through 7. When we identify kids who have the academic ability to move on successfully, we try to arrange to get sponsors for them so that we can pay for not only their primary school, but also secondary, and in some cases, even college.
I'll be darned.
Yes.
And this is all from the opportunity through Stepping Stones, of course, definitely. And St. Raphael, that ordinarily these children would never have had this type of.
They would never have
opportunity to have this
never.
done.
Yeah, that's correct.
Wow, that's amazing. You're talking families that are, your word, harvesting food out in the jungle, mm-hmm. to where now look at this, because of a small token of $45, $45 a month, you're able to get these children, and transportation, from what you're telling me, has got to be a high cost within itself.
Transportation is expensive.
Yeah, it's got to be. And you're able to accomplish tuition, transportation, and a meal for them while they're mm-hmm. Over at the school. Yeah, this is amazing. What happens over there in Uganda, it's short of amazing. The last time that they had a fundraiser, which you got one coming up. And what's the date on that, Pete?
26th?
26th of this month.
Okay. And if somebody was interested in.
So if you'd like to buy tickets are available on our website, ssfoh.org.
There you go.
ssfoh.org.
And, people buy those tickets and they think, oh, they're really helping out. Well, that's nice. I mean, the tickets are, they're $70?
$75, yeah.
Okay. $75 for a ticket. And, I mean, you get a meal and a half over there. You get a beautiful surroundings. There's all types of gift baskets that are going to be raffled off and all types of other things. But make no mistake, everybody. This is not a beg fest in any which way or intended to be. But this is a fundraiser. And this is a fundraiser where you are actually able to see your dollars go to great works. You're able to see, look at the stories we just got done hearing. You've got 2 that are going to be doctors or medical field at least. Mm-hmm. You have another success story that was able to get her own car after
we actually have 2 priests that have been trained through our organization, and we have 2 seminarians coming through as well.
So, folks, there's a lot of good that Stepping Stones can do for anybody. And if anybody's interested in coming to the event, they'll have like a live auction over there as well. They're going to have some great gift baskets. And I also know that they'll have handcrafted items directly from Uganda, and they carve out these out of wood, and not only wood, coconuts, I believe they use. And what else do they use for their carvings?
Anything they can find in the jungle.
Yeah. Well, you know what? You think it's fun, but that's what it is. Anything that they're able to find and repurpose and turn it into something, they have. And they have made probably every animal from the jungle onto carvings. Correct. They've got some sewing and crocheting that they do. They make these purses. They make these keychains. They do beadwork. It's amazing what's there. So, folks, it's the 26th of April. Go to Stepping Stones Foundation of Hope, which is ssfoh.com.
.org.
I'm sorry, it's .org. I've been saying com. So ssfoh.org. And you could see all about the event. We're going to try and pull up that flyer in just a few moments, but we're going to take a short break. And when we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about some of the success stories as well as how you could be a part of this, be a part of the community. A lot of people have asked me, well, we have so many different people here, in America that, need help. Why would we want to go to other countries? Well, you know what? Other countries need help as well. And for the small amount of investment that you're having to make to let another country have what we don't have, the basics, it's not a big price to pay. And if this isn't your foundation that you're interested in giving it to, you don't have to. But if it is something that interests you and you'd like to support and help, we'd certainly like to have you be a part of it. And again, it's ssfoh.org. I was saying it wrong. I'll tell you another little personal story, but I'm going to save it till we come back. I'll tell you what my family was able to do for the foundation. And it kind of blew me away because I just proposed it like, hey, what do you say we do this? And they said, yeah, let's do it. So we'll talk about that in just a few short moments. So we're going to take another short break, and we'll be back with Father Dennis Kasul and Peter Wickman from Stepping Stones Foundation of Hope. So be right back. WRMN 1410.
In the last 10 years? Is your bank another faceless branch with headquarters in another city? Are you tired of earning next to nothing on your savings account or certificates of deposit? Or does your personal banker treat you like a stranger? If you answered yes to any of those questions, then you're ready for a new banking experience, and American Eagle is the place for you. American Eagle is a locally owned independent bank that's rooted in the community, and American Eagle customers are greeted by name and treated with the respect that they deserve. American Eagle has an innovative program, Eagle Savings, that teaches your children to save while earning prizes and rewards. American Eagle offers great rates on certificates of deposit. My bank is located in South Elgin on Randall Road between the Target and Caputo's and is open Monday through Saturday. Give them a call at 847-742-7400, and a real person will answer the phone. American Eagle Bank, a place where you matter.
My mom has taken up going to the park to practice yoga.
My dad's going to a club, but not a book club, a salsa club.
Finding new hobbies comes with age.
My mom has started getting lost and not knowing where she's going.
Becoming lost or disoriented doesn't. Confusion with time or place may be a sign of Alzheimer's. An early diagnosis can help improve the quality of life for your loved one. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Looking to set sail on your dream vacation? Cruises International has you covered. Specializing in land and sea getaways, they're here to make your vacation unforgettable. Located at 1721 Moon Lake Boulevard in Hoffman Estates, they offer personalized service with a global network of specialists to ensure your trip is tailor-made just for you. Call today at 800-255-7447 to speak with a cruise and vacation expert. And don't miss Travel Tuesdays on WRMN AM 1410 every first Tuesday of the month from 11 to 12 p.m. on Out to Lunch. That's Cruises International. Your vacation, your way.
Systems run everything. Government, economy, media, justice. They shape your choices, your opportunities, your future. But do they work for you or against you? On Apolitical Talk Show, we break them down. Not to destroy, but to understand. Because if you don't see how the system works, you won't see when it's being manipulated or who's benefiting from it. Power belongs to those who know the rules, challenge the loopholes, and demand accountability. That starts with knowledge. That starts here. Join us weekdays from 4 to 6 p.m. as we uncover what's really happening behind the headlines, so you can decide for yourself what's fair, what's broken, and what needs to change. Apolitical Talk Show, breaking down the systems to build them up together. Right here, weekdays, 4 to 6 on WRMN, the talk of the town.
Hey, we're back, everybody. WRMN 1410 and you're listening to Deano's Night Out. Great guests in the studio here today. Dennis Kasul, Peter Wickman, directly to my left. And we've been talking about a lot of different things here while we were on break. And Pete, go ahead. Say what you were saying before. I thought that was very interesting the way you had said it.
A student initiative that we have going at the school. And as Dino was mentioning, for $45 a month, you can provide a year's worth of support for a child in primary school. And it's $45 a month. And the comment I was making to Dino during the break was, for $45 a month, $500 a year, it's pretty hard to make a difference in someone's life. With this money, you can make a difference in someone's life. And it's amazing to be over there and see what's available and see what can be made available with some additional resources. And it's gratifying to be able to provide this kind of support to those people in need.
Yeah, well, these are the folks that, just like you're saying, they're going to make a difference. They want to have an opportunity to change their life. And by giving
these are people who would not have the opportunity without our support.
Yeah.
We have people who are going to miss the opportunity because we don't have more donors. So if you're interested, this is something that you can get your arms around. You can communicate with your student. You get letters from your student.
Yeah, we get a letter at the law firm every month. Tells us they're, in fact, we've been doing now for, I think, 3 or 4 years, if not more. Because I know we've been getting the progression of what they're doing.
Correct.
And the price hasn't gone up at all. And that's the other part. I can't
So it's
imagine.
fixed once you donate.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's it makes us feel good. Mary Brady was like, yeah, this is what we're going to do. And, I'm happy to be a part of things and be able to help the foundation as well. In fact, when my father passed away, it was during the COVID. I don't know, it was like almost 6 months later, we got this check in. It was like a $1,500 check. And, my two brothers called me up and says, hey, from Dad's estate, we have this other check. And I was like, wow. I said, well, do what you want to do with it. I says, let's give it to somebody. I says, let's do it in Dad's name. And then at the time, it was Schultz, actually. Matt Schultz and yourself were the ones that were telling me that you guys had some misfortune. You weren't able to get the ice to keep the medicines that you guys have there because there's a lot of different diseases that are going around, and you have to have those vaccinations. So you lost, I don't know, thousands of dollars worth of it. And all they were trying to do was get a power line dropped to the medical center. They weren't looking for nothing else. They weren't looking for air conditioner for people to live this good life in 100+ degrees. So they had mentioned that, and I told my family, I says, hey, guys, why don't we do this? We'll do this in Dad's name, and, we're going to help a lot of people. And this doesn't just help one student. This helped all the students. This helps all the people in the community that are in Uganda. And, for the $1,500, I mean, it was a long power drop. If that was here in America, that would have been like $80,000 or better.
I'd say 100, yeah.
Okay, $100,000.
Yeah.
But for a small $1,500 donation, they were able to get power to the medical center. And then as things lucked out, I guess the contractors that were there, they made that power drop to where they were able to extend it to the school. And the rest of the community, not just the community center, which was the hospital, was also now able to get electricity because the main power line had come through.
Yes.
All true.
And none of that we expected. All we were figuring was, well, hey, you know what? At least the medicine will be safe.
Yes.
And look what happens. And I'm telling you, when you do something like that and you're giving something with good intentions, look what good came out of that.
Very true. The transformation that has happened because of having electricity is night and day.
Yeah, we were running on generators.
Yeah.
Oh, they were? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know that the failure that you had, I mean, it was devastating to have the vaccines all useless. I mean, you couldn't use them, and what they were would cause more harm to an individual.
Indeed.
And then there's other things they have out there. There's a lot of Didn't they get a ultrasound machine through the Knights of Columbus? So there's a lot of resources that have been sent that way, but not just put into the corner and says, okay.
Dental equipment.
Dental equipment. Yeah, that was one of the pictures. Didn't I have that on here? Yeah.
We just also bought for the computers for the school. That was our project last year.
Yeah, last year's
would
project.
not be possible without electricity.
Yeah.
Yeah, last year's fundraiser generated funds by, we had some computers, but we now have 40, current upgraded computers with reliable Wi-Fi.
Not reliable, but
somewhat reliable.
but they're still able to utilize that. Well, that's great. Yeah. I mean, again, you're taking a place where, again, I have to go back. It is the first time that you've told that to me, Pete, to where people are having. I mean, it really does. It really tugs at me when you're looking at these residents are having to harvest in the jungle.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that jungle's. You were there. I mean,
well, it's
a jungle.
It's a jungle. Yeah.
and these kids are going with their parents, their father, to go and harvest food so they have something to eat. And you don't know what they're going to come back with.
Indeed.
So
growing up, that if you don't have to cook lunch, you go and look around, find.
Yeah, right.
Jackfruit.
We go to McDonald's. We go drive any. We don't even finish the whole hamburger. How many times we don't eat something? This isn't cooked the way I want. We throw it out. Yeah. Could you imagine that?
Yeah.
These poor folks are struggling just to have a meal. And much less this. This is for education. Mm-hmm. And then the education that comes from this is just there's no measuring.
And then, in addition, the kids get a solid lunch, which they may not get at home.
Yeah, right. So it's a lot of good this does. I'm telling you, folks, if you're able to do it, make the phone call. You can call us here, 931-1410. That's 847-931-1410. But, a lot of people are bashful on this, so go to the website. Go to ssfoh.org. And, shop around a little bit. There's all kinds of things you could do to help. But, when you see the different pictures and you see what that contribution of that small $45 a month, $500 a year, like Pete is saying, to people who ordinarily wouldn't have these opportunities, and you're making an impact into someone's life, I think that speaks volumes, huh? Father, we're probably going to just have a couple minutes left here. Is there anything in closing you'd like to share with everybody?
What I would like to say is that there are three things that sustain people in our communities back in Uganda, namely God, community, and the land.
Okay.
God, community, and the land. So, and community now is broader for us because it includes not only the folks that we have in Uganda, but also the folks that we have here in the United States. So the joy for me as a founding member of the organization is seeing that this space of collaboration is continuing to be around for 15 years. Hopefully it will continue forever so that we can all contribute to lifting up one another in every way that we can.
We could only hope so. Stepping Stones Foundation of Hope, everybody. ssfoh.org. Peter, thank you very much for being here today. Dennis, Father Dennis Kasul. Father, you're doing great works out there. Keep up the good work. That's it for today. Dino's Night Out, 1410 a.m. right here at WRMN. Tune in next Friday, 2 to 4. We'll have another group of people.